Hola chicas, buenos días. ¿Me escuchan?
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning. ¿Cómo están?
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Mónica. Qué bueno verte otra vez, Laura.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Likewise, lo
Pleasure
mismo.
to be here.
Okay. Can you please confirm that you can watch or see my screen? Sí, sí las pueden ver. Okay, so today we are going to practice our reading skill. Buenos días, Francia. Good morning, Francia. We're going to start with our exam preparation
Good morning.
session. We're going to practice. And today we're going to practice our reading skill. Welcome again to Laura and Monica, and very nice to meet you, Francia. My name is Sofia Moreno Jaimes, and we are going to start the session now. So first, we are going to talk a little bit about the agenda, what we are going to do today, so you can have an idea of like the steps that we are going to take during the class. First, we are going to introduce ourselves, know a little bit more about each other. Then we are going to discuss our goal. Then we will do like a few warm-up activities. We're going to answer some questions. We're going to discuss about the topic. And then we will practice our reading skill, and we will learn new vocabulary. And then we will wrap up the session, and then we conclude and we will finish the session. Okay, so first readings. Hello, everybody. My name is Sofia Moreno. I am 27 years old. I was born in Villavicencio, Colombia, but almost 3 years ago, I moved to the United States, to Washington, D.C. And yeah, that's me. It's very nice to have you here. I hope to know a little bit more about you during the next session and during this session. Now, Laura, can you please introduce yourself?
Sure, teacher, and thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to be here. I'm really happy to see you. And something that I can say about myself is that my name is Laura. I'm 25 years old. I currently live in Pereira. I have been living here since I was born. And before studying my bachelor's degree, because I'm in the second semester, I was working in a call center. I would say that it was a great experience with some challenges, some moments, some ups and downs. But it was a great moment because I was able to practice my skills. And I find this session an opportunity for me to keep up practicing and improving my English. And it's really great to see you here, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Very nice to see you here, of course. Now, Francia, can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, good morning. How are you? My name is Francia Elena. I am 36 years old. I am single. I live in Cali with my family. I have 3 pets. I love my pets, 2 dogs and 1 rabbit. My work is flight attendant. That's it.
Thank you very much. Very nice to see you, Francia. Now, Monica, can you please introduce yourself?
Ok, bueno, vamos a hacer el intento. Bueno. Hello, my name is Mónica Benito Ponce. I was born in Villavicencio, Colombia. I am 42 years old and the proud mother of three children, Isabela, Pablo Andres, and Nicolas. They are my greatest motivation and the reason why I always try to give my best. I studied at the Normal Nacional in Villavicencio, and later I continued my education in international trade and languages. I have been working for Cividad for several years as a teacher, helping children and young people to improve their skills and open new opportunities for their future. In 2016, 2017, I was crowned Señora Colombia Crown. This experience allowed with me to represent my values and show that women can transform difficult ties into stretch. Around the same time, I decided to create my biggest project, Fundación Zona Activa. Since 2016, this foundation has supported vulnerable communities with education, social programs, and family projects. One of the most special activities is Una Navidad Feliz, which brings joys to hundreds of children every year. My life has not been easy. I became a mother at a young age, and also I faced domestic violence. However, I didn't let those experiences define me. Instead, I transformed my pain into reports. Today, I share my story in conference and classes under the message from pain to prose. My goal is to inspire others and to show that with education, faith, and resilience, it is possible to build a better future. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Monica, for sharing your life, what you have been through. Uh, you're a clear example of like how powerful a woman can be. Thank you very much for opening up with us. That was great. And it's funny that yesterday we were in a class and we never like introduced ourselves. We never said that we were both from Villavicencio, which is very funny. But yeah, thank you very much. Thank you guys.
Welcome to my home, teacher.
Um, Thank you. Thank you to all of you to introduce yourself. I really enjoy that the students talk, so the class won't be boring for you, neither for me. So let's like, I know that it's early, but I'd invite you guys to participate, to like be active during the class so all of us can have like a good time. Um, okay, so now the goal of this class is that by the end of the session, we will be able to practice our reading skill with different types of text, but also we will identify the main idea, the details about the article, and also we will practice our reading comprehension strategies. Okay, so first we're going to do the warm-up activity. So we're just going to discuss this part, but I want to know if have you ever gone camping? Any of you have ever gone camping? No? Anyone? Okay. So if any of us has gone camping, because I haven't either, what do you think that makes an experience memorable for you? Do you understand the question? Okay, great. So, what do you think it makes an experience? It can be any experience. It can be go to a concert or going to a restaurant or like, I don't know, going for like hiking. What do you think it makes an experience memorable for each of you? ¿Qué hace que una experiencia sea memorable para ustedes? Laura, porfa.
Thank you, teacher. Well, I would say that it's a really great question because I think that what makes something memorable is the moment that you share with your loved ones, like your friends and your family, where you're speaking, you're sharing narratives, or you're telling stories. Well, I think that it's something amazing because in that context, regardless of the situation, whether you're going to a park or to a concert, you always have a lesson from a person, and that lesson is going to be something helpful for your life, where you're going to be a better human being. You can learn from each other. But more than that, you can also enjoy the moment because you know that time is short and we need to take advantage of those simple moments that are really meaningful in the context of a camping. Well, unfortunately, I haven't gone in a camping, but I think that what makes it memorable is the connection that you can have, not only for the people that are with you, but also in the nature where you can take photographs and you can capture those moments. I think that it's something really exciting when you share that moment and you got to experience with other people, especially your loved ones, those people that are really significant for your life.
Mhm. That's very true. I completely agree with you. Thank you, Valeria, for sharing your opinion. Now, Francia.
Um, I I went the camping. Yes, I like it camping with my family or my boyfriend. Yes, I think the make experience memorable for me is the company. Yes, it's very important. The company. Um, I think, for example, family is good. Yes.
Mhm,
Um, Partners, friends. Yes. Um, yeah, I think for very realizing, for take a photograph, um, only brief, natural. Yes. Yeah, I think one moment with disconnect the all noise of the Siri. Yes. No cell phones, no laptops. Only
mhm,
concentration in family or other company. I don't know. It's good enjoy for the natural, the river maybe. It's river or the fire. It's
mhm,
good. Look at the start, enjoy,
mhm,
and maybe plates, the table.
mhm. I agree. I think that like this question can be very subjective because of course it will depend on the situation that you are. For example, if you're in a concert, I think that what makes it memorable is to be present and not to film every detail that happened in the concert, but instead you just enjoy the music, you just dance. With camping, yes, just like connect with nature, I would say I am a very afraid person. I'm kind of scared of like the outside. I feel that like I like to control my environment. So I feel that when I go camping or even when I go like on a hike here in America, actually, I went to one hike and it was a really hard hike. And I was having like an anxiety attack because it was like I was in the middle of nowhere. I was just with my boyfriend, and my boyfriend is like completely the opposite of me. He can be in nature, he can get lost in nature and he will be fine, but I will be crying, I will be praying, I will be like freaking out. So I feel that like for me, making an experience memorable will be like just let the things flow, and let you surprise with what can happen during that experience. So yeah, I guess that each of us is very different and we have a different opinion about like a memorable experience for us. But yeah, Francia, do you want to share something else? Because I see your hand.
Yo, profe.
Okay, Monica. Okay.
I'm gonna first the first answers. Have you ever gone camping? Yes, I have gone camping a few times, and it was a really interesting experience. I enjoy being in contact with nature because it makes me feel relaxed and disconnected from the stress of daily life. One of the things I like the most about camping is waking up early and listening to the sound of birds or looking at the stars at night. Of course, camping is not always easy. Sometimes the weather changes suddenly, or you don't have all the comfort you usually have at home. But I think that is exactly what makes it special because it teaches you to adapt, appreciate simple things like warm fire, good food, or just sharing time with the people around you. In my opinion, camping is unforgettable activity because it combines adventures, nature, and meaningful moments.
That's true.
Em, sorry. Y
Yeah, okay.
la segunda, de la experiencia,
Mhm.
one of the most memorable experience for me was going to Shakira concerts on February 26th.
Mhm.
26. It was something extremely wonderful and unforgettable. I have always admired her music, but seeing her perform live was a completely different experience. The energy of the crowd, the lights, and the way she connected with the audience made me feel so excited and happy. It was not only about listening to the songs, but also about living the moment and feeling part of something unique. I always, I will always remember that night because it gave me so much joy and inspiration. For me, it was definitely one of those experiences that stay in your heart forever. Thank you.
That's true. Thank you, Monica. Very great experience that you could go and see Shakira. I feel that those experiences are like the ones that make you like work harder to like keep having those experiences because unfortunately those experiences are like kind of expensive. But yeah, thank you very much to all of you guys for participating of this warm-up activity. As you can tell, the topic that we are going to read and talk about it is camping and a memorable experience. So we'll be talking a little bit more about it. Now we are going to uh, read this vocabulary, and if there are words that you don't understand, let me know. Survival, luxuries, edible, unpredictable, shelter, tricky, and fulfill. Do you know all these words, or there are some words that you might not understand? Do you understand all of them? Edible is like as the same word as comestible. So, for example, when you go camping, you need to like go and check what fruits or what specific items can be edible and help you to eat and be full.
Thank you so much, teacher. I didn't review that word before, and now I understood it better.
Yes, yes. There are some words that like they're kind of weird. For example, tricky, which can be like engañoso, fulfill, cumplir, shelter. Shelter is like a place that can give you like a warm housing, um, como un refugio, por decirlo así. Unpredictable, impredecible, edible, comestible, luxuries, lujos y survival es como sobrevivir prácticamente. Ok, em, vamos a leer. Entonces lo que vamos a hacer es... Okay, so today we're going to read about a survival adventure camp. So, okay, so what we are going to do is that I'm going to read the first one, the second one, Monica is going to read it, the third one, Laura, the fourth one, Francia, and then Monica again, this one, and then Laura, the last one, okay? And then we will discuss about what we read. Okay, so survival adventure camp. Last summer, I took part in a survival adventure camp in the mountains. It was run by Survive Adventure Club, and the idea behind it was to give teenagers like me a taste of what it's like to survive in the wild. There were no luxuries such as showers or shops which you find on other adventure camps. That might have bothered some people, not me though. Our guides were experienced and reassured us they will be with us every step of the way. They provide us tips to help us make informed decisions about things like where to camp, how to make meals from food we will find ourselves, and how to get around without maps. Now, Monica?
Miss, can you make that image a little bigger, please, or no?
Yes. A
I
second.
thank you. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No worries. Here.
Experience? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. The experience began at the Survived Adventures Club headquarters at the base of the mountains. There we were divided into teams for the camp. The teams weren't based on age and experience, but on our performance in a number of team build the stacks, which was a way for the leaders to put us together based on individual skills and personalities to ensure a good mix in each team. We were led through a series of fun activities such as making a raft which floating on water and taking part in a quiz. The activities were aiming at helping us make the most of our strengths in addictions, building confidence before the real survival adventure began.
Laura?
Once we decided that we still wanted to take part after the day's activities, our first night was spent in the cabins at the club's headquarters. We had a proper bed for the night, but the evening meal was down to us. I knew there'd be some kind of challenge for us. Our survival expert Hans gives us a lesson on finding food, such as plants in the wild. He warned us that not everything looks good is safe to eat, and explained that it's vital to identify what you are looking at. Hans only pointed out what was edible or should be left alone, but also taught us to build a campfire and provided cooking tips. He told us we should see our imaginations as cooking in the wild was different to cooking at home.
Francia.
Next morning, the real
Survival.
the real survival
Next.
adventures began with being advised to take well 15 hiking boots, the warm clothing and waterproof. I appreciated the advice because, as we've soon found out, the weather in mountain regions can be highly unpredictable. After an 8-step climb, we spent the rest of the morning eating, identify wildlife and learning. One moment, please. Okay. Two negative using natural alone. We are learning to determine where we were heading and what time it was. We put our cooking skills to test and the launch time, which was trickier than we'd imagined, though we eventually came up with something we could all eat. When evening fell, we had to locate a spot to put up our tents in. Although we'd been told there was nothing dangerous in the nearby forest, we still kept away from the edge which put at its. Its? I don't know.
Thank you. Now, Monica, please, over the next 2 days.
Okay. Um, of, Over the next 2 days, we made a shelter, learned and to treat minor injuries and build a bridge. I was part and share of the later on, although I hadn't done anything like a previous on and wasn't particularly keen to be given that responsibility. I discovered a new skill in engineering, which I never thought I'd be good at. The tasks were fascinating, and I'd like to do more on the kind of thing, pardon.
And Laura, please, can you finish?
Sure, it was a wonderful adventure. I had no idea what to expect when I signed up, and I wasn't outdoors kind of person. So, why I thought it was a good idea, I'm not sure. I don't regret it. So, I'm pleased I didn't quit, even when things got tougher when I ever thought they would. I always knew I was in the capable hands of the leaders, and we had such good fun. I hope to be back again at some point in the future.
There you go. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is a exam preparation session. So I'm supposed to give you tips, and maybe give you strategies that you can use at the moment when you take a English exam. So I wrote a few tips that help me when I'm taking a reading exam. And first is read the title and predict the content. So here, as you can see, Survival Adventure Camp, we already know that it is going to talk about camp, it's going to talk about an experience. So it's going to pretty much be a narrative of a person. And then, what's this here? And then don't try to understand every word of the text. I know that we have the pressure of like, we are taking an exam, we have a limited time. I need to understand every word so I can choose the correct answer. But sometimes that make us feel first more confused, then it will make us feel frustrated, and then we will end up doing really bad. So even though that there are some words that we might not understand, try to understand the whole paragraph or the whole idea by context. So do not try to like translate every word of the text, because first it will give you a wrong idea, and then you will lose time, and then you will get frustrated. So please don't do that. Try to get the information by context. Then summarize what you read. We're going to practice this after we read these tips. But I think that like after each paragraph that we read, we can summarize it and try to find the possible answers that is given to us and the possible answers of the questions they will ask below. And then something that we didn't do because I forgot, but try to look at the questions first. So always before a listening exam or a reading exam, what I like to do that I forgot today, don't do it, is read the first the question. So for example, here, what is the writer doing in the first paragraph? The writer says blah 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 blah. So after we read the title, we have an idea of like what the text is going to be. But then here we will have now in our mind the possible questions that they will ask us. So when we start reading, we will find those questions and we will start answering. This will save us time. This will save us stress. And this will make that we have more the control of our reading and more when we are taking an exam. So now we are going to discuss these questions. So based on what we read, what is the main idea of the survival camp? What do you think, guys? What was the main idea of this camp?
Mm, the main idea of the test is that writer took part in survival adventure camp, which was very different from her usual lifestyle. And although it was challenging, she discovered new skills, learned useful lessons, and felt proud of overcoming unexpected difficulties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was like a whole experience for the person that was like sharing the experience. She just wanted to have an adventure and she wanted to learn about like camping. But for her or for the guy, it was like very surprising because she didn't expect that camping was going to be like that. So it definitely, she thought that it was going to be a good idea, but when she experienced that, she was like, well, maybe not. But still, she did it. Okay, so now we have like the summarize of the article, right? It's about survival camp, and this person is sharing the experience. They went through like a training, then they spent the time in the camping, but there were people that were helping them, and then at the end she gave the conclusion. So, for example, in the first question, what is the writer doing in the first paragraph? So, before we go and try to read the answer of that question, in every question or in most of the questions, there will always be just two possible answers. So, uh, Francia, can you help me reading the options from A to D?
Okay. A.
Mm-hmm.
Describing the kind of accommodation available on the trip. B. Explaining with why she had some concern about going on the trip. C. Highlighting that the adventure camp she went on was unlike others. D. Offering advice to other teenagers about how to come with conditions on the trip.
Okay, thank you very much. So, for all of you, which of these four options? There are two options that are completely wrong and out of context. So, which options do you think that those are? The wrong ones, las incorrectas, las que no tienen nada que ver con el artículo, por así decirlo. ¿Cuáles son las dos respuestas que no están conectadas con lo que acabamos de leer?
The letter
You can
A and
write
the
it.
letter C. Sorry, perdón.
Ujú. Dice la A y la B.
B.
Ok, Francia says B. B. Oh my gosh. And Laura,
I think that in between B and D.
Yes,
B
B
and
and
D.
D. Yes.
Ok, so now we are going to read. Esas son las incorrectas, ¿cierto? Las que, o sea, no tienen nada que ver con el contexto del artículo. O sea,
Mhm.
lo que estamos haciendo acá es descartar y solo quedarnos con las dos opciones que podrían ser la respuesta correcta. Ok, so, dijeron A y B y luego B y D, ¿cierto? Ahora vamos a leer. Last summer, I took part in a survival adventure camp in the mountains. It was run by Survive Adventure Club. And the idea behind it was to give teenagers like me a taste of what it's like to survive in the wild. There were no luxuries such as showers or shops which you find on other adventure camps. That might have bothered some people, not me though. Our guides were experienced and reassured us that they would be with us every step of the way. They provided tips to help us make informed decisions about things like where to camp, how to make meals from food we will find ourselves, and how to get around without maps. So, based on what we reread now, what is the answer? Describing the kinds of accommodations available on the trip, explaining why she had some concerns about going on the trip, highlighting that the adventure camp she went on was unlike others, offering advice to other teenagers about how to cope with conditions of the trip. Okay, so the first one that we will like not choose would be D because she never advised anything, right? Ella nunca aconseja nada. Okay, so letter D is not going to be the answer. Describing the accommodations on the available trip, she described the accommodations that they won't have. For example, a hot shower or shops. So A can be because the only accommodations that they have is like pretty much being in the wild. That's it. So now we have B and C. So between these two, which one do you think it is? Explaining why she has some concerns about going on the trip or highlight that the adventure camp she went on was unlike others. Which one do you think is the correct one between B and C?
Sí.
Okay,
I think.
Monica. Laura?
Oh yes, teacher. I'm sorry. I think it's also the option C.
Okay, and Francia?
Yes, sí.
Okay, so yeah, that's the correct answer because she explained why she has some concerns, but she doesn't explain it in the first paragraph. She explained it later on the article. But she highlighted that this adventure camp is very different than others. So the answer will be letter C. Prácticamente lo que les quería o lo que estaba tratando de hacer en este punto de responder los exámenes es que siempre traten de descartar primero las dos opciones que no tienen nada que ver con la pregunta que les están haciendo ni con el texto que acaban de leer. Siempre, bueno, no siempre, pero usualmente siempre van a haber dos opciones que no tienen nada que ver con el texto. En este caso fue, por ejemplo, ella dando consejos a los demás adolescentes. En el primer párrafo, ella nunca menciona absolutamente nada de consejos ni nada. Ella está dando la introducción de lo que luego ella va a explicar. Y luego la letra C es highlighting the adventure camp she went, perdón, describing the accommodation available on the trip. Em, ella habla de las acomodaciones que no van a tener, por ejemplo, baños calientes y tiendas. Entonces, no tiene nada que ver. Si la respuesta estuviera de pronto estructurada con las acomodaciones que no tengan en el trip, tal vez pueda ser una posible opción de respuesta, pero está hablando de las opciones disponibles. Entonces, es importante siempre ir descartando primero y luego, cuando ya tengamos dos opciones que se parezcan, sí ir a buscar la opción correcta. Okay, I know that like we could just discuss one question, but because of matter of time, we'll have to stop here. But I would like to ask you, um, what did you learn about today's session? What do you think about it? What vocabulary did you learn? I will send the attendance link through the chat. Sí, Laura?
Thank you, teacher. Well, first of all, I want to say that it was a wonderful experience being here with you. I had the opportunity to see you in the last semester, and I was really excited to be here because I had the opportunity not only to practice my reading, but also to learn new vocabulary like to be edible, to make a raft, those words that I couldn't understand, even though through the context and the reading practice, I was able to see how those words can make, we can make them work in different scenarios, in different situations. And also, I found it really interesting the questions, and that we also had some speaking section where we give our thoughts and our opinions about the questions. And I would say that it was great to be here, and I had many opportunities to learn, to practice. And I'm really grateful with you for this space that you give us and for this opportunity to understand different situations and to also learn more about camping and how that experience can be different from being in the city and different situations that we always put ourselves into like we are normally are. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you very much for your opinion and for sharing that. I really appreciate that you're here too. Okay, girls, if there are no questions, no comments, we can finish the session now. It was very nice to see you again, Monica and Lara. And it was very nice to meet you, Francia. And I hope to see you in another opportunity. I hope you have a great day. And that's it. Bye bye, girls.
Mhm. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, Laura.
Goodbye, teacher.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much, teacher, for